Welcome back to the channel. If we haven't met, I'm Rachel. Okay, congratulations humanity. We have officially, almost, made it to the halfway point of 2025. The world hasn't burst into flames. Well, not all of it, not yet anyway. And if you're watching this, your Wi-Fi still works. So let's call that a win. And yet, somehow it still doesn't feel like a win, does it? Maybe because the emotional whiplash of daily life in 2025 makes survival feel less like a triumph and more like some weird endurance sport nobody signed up for. So before we break out the confetti, let's just take a breath and admit we have all been quietly waiting for something to shift. And let's be honest here, there is one wish that we have all shared since January. You know what I'm talking about. It's that one big, hopeful thing we all want. The thing we are clinging to like it's the last bagel in the break room. And every single morning we wake up hoping we will finally see it in the headlines. But no. Instead, we wake up to headlines that bounce between what sounds like satire and actual horror. Like the news itself is having a breakdown in real time. Some stories are so absurd they feel fake. Others are so dark they make you want to pull the covers back over your head and try again tomorrow. And now, just to keep things spicy, we have got fresh saber rattling towards Iran. Because when domestic protests are filling the streets of Los Angeles and literally everywhere else, and the headlines are finally focused on accountability, what better distraction than flirting with another Middle East war? It's like the administration has a giant red international crisis lever labeled, in case of plummeting poll numbers, pull here. I genuinely cannot tell whether the people fueling the chaos are clueless, callous, or just masterful at weaponizing fear. Honestly, I think it's all three. Whatever the mix, let's stop calling it leadership. It is theater with a cruelty streak, and the rest of us are stuck in the balcony watching the same dangerous play loop on endless repeat. So yeah, our collective big wish, still pending, along with peace, justice, sanity, and common sense. But hey, at least there was that video of a guy trying to pet a wild bison at Yellowstone, proving once again that natural selection is still a thing. So, there's that. Look, I could spend the next 10 minutes cataloging every fresh slice of apocalyptic gloom and doom. Because yes, it's legitimately scary out there. But I am not going to do that. There's already plenty of fear and anger in circulation. And trust me, I feel it too. In fact, there are whole networks, channels, and comment sections dedicated to keeping you panicked. There are powerful people out there that want people afraid. And I have absolutely no desire to feed that machine for them. Because outlook matters. So instead of marinating in dread, let's pivot to what we can actually control. And yeah, maybe crack a joke or two. Not because it's funny, but because sometimes laughter is what keeps us from breaking. Some days it feels like just keeping your head above water deserves a trophy. And other days it feels like you are drowning in absurdity with only a pool noodle and a coffee mug that says, "It's fine, I'm fine, everything's fine." Or, I don't know, calm your tits. If you feel like your happy face mask is being held up with duct tape and sheer willpower, you are not alone. Welcome to the not-so-secret club. We ran out of emotional glue back in March. But here's the thing to remember. We are still here, still showing up, still moving forward, even if it feels like we are trudging through a vat of molasses with snowshoes on. And weirdly, there's something kind of heroic about that. And yes, I know I'm leaning on a little extra sarcasm here, but let's be honest, this stuff gets heavy fast. If we don't find some way to laugh, even darkly, we unravel. So consider this your permission slip to feel all of it. Now, let me get philosophical for a second, because, that's what I do, but I promise not to put you to sleep. Nietzsche said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." Now, I am not saying that your why has to be deep and noble. If your why is just survive until the next season of my favorite show comes on, Nietzsche would probably still approve, or at least give you a smirk from behind that giant mustache. Carl Jung reminded us, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." Translation, even if the world is a mess, you are not the mess. You can still choose to be kind, grounded, curious, or at the very least, hydrated. Sometimes choosing who we become means becoming willing to stand up, to speak out, to hold firm, even when it's uncomfortable or risky. Because resilience isn't just about surviving. It's about showing up with courage and intention, no matter the chaos around us. And Viktor Frankl, who, by the way, survived a concentration camp, said, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." So no, you can't change today's headlines, but you can choose how much of your sanity you're willing to hand over to it and decide not to let it hijack your peace. Step away from the noise for a bit, reclaim your breath. If you're still not feeling inspired, let me offer this. Sometimes surviving the day is enough. Sometimes making it to 3 o'clock without rage posting or crying in your car because you're in a parking lot because your groceries costs have doubled from last week, or eating your weight in salt and vinegar chips is a huge victory. So let's celebrate the tiny wins. Look, I have said from the very beginning, my goal is to help you live your healthiest, happiest life, no matter what crap life throws at you. And we seem to be buried in it these days, don't we? So if you're wondering why I keep harping on all this instead of just going full doom and screaming, it's because stress is literally killing us. No matter who you voted for or where you live, we are all maxed out, physically, mentally, emotionally. I'm speaking from experience here. I've battled cancer twice, so I have lived with the consequences of what stress and inflammation can do to your body when it goes unchecked. And I am telling you, the chaos out there, it's not just exhausting. It's dangerous if we don't counterbalance it somehow. So no, I'm not here to sugarcoat anything, but I'm here to remind you that taking care of yourself, your mind, your health, your outlook, isn't selfish. It's necessary, because surviving this moment means managing the stress, not drowning in it. And just to be clear, I am not naive or oblivious here. I know this country is heading off a cliff and it's doing its damnedest to drag the rest of the world with it. The headlines are terrifying, the policies are regressive, and some days it feels like we're watching a slow-motion train wreck while being told to smile and wave. But acknowledging that doesn't mean giving up. It means being honest and refusing to be consumed by it. And maybe, just maybe, something good does come out of all of this eventually. Sometimes societal pressure cracks things open. Maybe more people will actually pay attention now. Maybe we finally interrupt this cycle of generational forgetting, where each wave of chaos gets buried and repeated, and we actually start learning from and believing the lessons that were buried in what came before. James Baldwin said, "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced." And maybe that's what's finally happening. We are facing it, eyes wide open, even if our hearts are freaking exhausted. Maybe people will actually look into candidates' platforms, really listen to what they're saying, and not just base our choice on the sound bites designed to rile us up or play to our fears. I'm not saying we fix everything overnight, but awareness is a first step, and outlook still matters. Did you wake up today? Gold star. Did you get a cup of coffee that tasted like the possibility of a good day? Platinum star. Did you hold back a full-on eye roll during a meeting or this video? Philosopher's Stone. You win. And maybe that's the new metric for success right now. Life's not asking us to be overachievers. It's asking us to stay grounded, to stay human, and maybe even find a moment or two of joy or grace in the mess. It's not about checking every box. It's about showing up, eyes open, heart intact, even if barely. Finding comfort in the little things, finding each other, and savoring the coffee and spitting it out through your nose when someone online says exactly what you were thinking but didn't dare say out loud, because those things count too. Presence, awareness, coffee, and the occasional sarcastic YouTube video reminding you that you are not crazy and you're not alone. Hope isn't pretending things are great. It's betting one more chip on tomorrow anyway. And the fact that you're still here halfway through the year means your track record for getting through the hard days is 100%. That is better than the economy or the airlines or our national leadership's ability to go 24 hours without threatening war because someone bruised their fragile ego and they finally realized that no one likes them. So, if this gave you a smirk or just a smidge of perspective, hit that thumbs up button so the algorithm knows we have not completely given up on each other. And share your one wish for the year in the comments. I would love to see what we are all collectively rooting for. Or what we've collectively stopped rooting for and just roll our eyes at now. If you don't feel comfortable typing something out, just give me a "if you know, you know," or throw down an emoji, smirking, winking, whatever you want. Thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. As always, take care of you, and I will see you the next time. Bye-bye. Oh, today's shirt. See you later. Bye-bye.